Yo guys, what's up? This is a game between Moon and Fly. It's actually from about a month ago, but it's a really good game. Got recommended by one of my moderators. And in fact, the story here was, recently I was watching some Orc versus Night Elf games, including Focus versus Razor Moon, who is it's not Moon, it's another player. But there was Immolation and Evasion going on. And, you know, personally, I think Immolation is very strong. I think it was rebalanced a couple of times in the last months. And I think it's in a pretty good spot now. It's not as OP as it was, and it's not as useless as it was in the many years before it, over a decade before it. And this is an example of a game where Moon, Night Elf, ends up going Immolation and Evasion. I think he's gonna lose his Ancient of War pretty much. Holy, he's not gonna lose his Ancient of War, is he? Okay, it's close, it's close. He could make sure it doesn't die. Oh my god, it was so close. What a god. Anyway, this is an example of a game where Moon goes Immolation and Evasion without mana burn. And you gain a lot for it, and you give up a lot for it. So by not taking mana burn, Orc is able to actually use their mana. Isn't that nice? They can cast Healing Wave, they can cast Serpent Wards. In return though, a Demon will have max evasion as they will have max evasion on every even level. It's usually not the prio skill. And they'll have max Immolation. And Immolation deals damage against melee. So that makes it really good against especially Orc and Undead, who often run quite a bit of melee. Undead does it in the early game, but then they switch to Air and Fiends. So it's especially good against Orc. Orc uses a lot of Grunts and Raiders, and they use Blade Master against Night Elf, so there's plenty of things to burn. Let's see how it plays out. Fly so far opened with a pretty cool creep route. He's actually farming a lot of small items. He got the Circlet, Double Mantle, and he even speed scrolled from one camp to the other without any impetus from Moon. He did that speed scroll purely to get from one camp to the other quicker, just to shave off timing. That's a 70 gold investment, which is a lot. But he also knew that he's going to have a free inventory slot requirement so that he could pick up the Ring of Superiority. And here he comes. He actually managed to find Moon creeping this. This is actually maybe very good pre-game study. Oh my god! Fly got it! This must be some kind of meta game understanding by Fly that Moon would be about here at this time. Pretty cool fact, the way that Moon pulled this creep camp was with an archer on the outer Ogre Warrior. If you stay with your archer, the rock golem is actually going to throw a boulder which stuns and deals 100 damage on the archer, minus Elune's Grace magic immunity, which is 30% magic resistance damage reduction. But because he did it at max range and immediately ran, the rock golem was out of range to throw the rock. Oh my god, Fly's instincts are so good. And so there was never a rock thrown. So it helped to pull the camp. Ah, the Windwalk ran out. So he didn't end up stealing the Troll 6. Dude, I miss these moments where you're running around with Blade and actually doing relevant creepjack against Night Elf. I haven't had this in a long time. Fly has some kind of sick creep route and awareness and understanding. His Blade is level 3 before Demon. I don't even know how that's possible. Like, yeah, he took the Rock Golem 6. Normally, Demon is supposed to be higher level. Because they got the Ancient of War creeping. Sick. Double Bestiary with Shadow. This is probably why Razor Moon said that you're supposed to go double Bestiary against Dryads. Right? Because maybe he saw this game. Probably why he was not playing Mana Burns, because he was copying Moon. And I think these double Bestiary came out from Fly before he saw whether it's mass Dryads or Bears. He would have seen the Hunter's Hall, I imagine. So he knows there's going to be at least one Dryad. And now he sees it's mass Dryads because Quad Moonwell, Double Lore, and Tier 3 hasn't begun. So it may not never be Bears, but it's at least going to be 6 Dryads before Bears. So whenever you're preparing for bears, you're gonna go probably walkers so that you can get Spirit Link, good magic damage on bears, and you're gonna get Disenchant for rejuvenation and roar. And you want 1 or 2 raiders for control, but then you also want 1 or 2 Kodos to eat the bears. Very different response against Mass Dryads. That's why it's so important to see if Tree of Eternity is coming out. When it is Mass Dryads, you just want a lot of raiders. A Kodo is a very doubtful investment. Even though it gives you bonus damage, it's an easy focus fire for Dryads. It's pretty hard to eat Dryads because it's a lot slower. And it has unarmored armor against piercing damage, so it takes a lot. It's also slow, so it's likely to get picked off in the bobbin and weaving of the game. Any hit and run, Kodo will be left behind. So Mass Raiders is correct. I just wonder, what if the second hero was Keeper of the Grove? Just gonna check. We're at 6 minutes into the game. I want to know, did he know that it's Dryads? Like, what did the Blade see? Because Blade is here now, but he already started Bestiaries. He's either playing off of the pre-knowledge that this is how Moon is playing right now, or he's making a very educated gamble. Nice creeping on the shadow. And now he knows it's Mass Dryads because he saw the tier 2. Still, so he can go Heal Wave and Snakes. Probably doesn't want to cast any Heal Wave until Shadow's level 3. I would imagine he either creeps his expansion or the laboratory next. And there's a Torrent Totem coming. Interesting. This might also be kind of okay, even if it's bears or talents. Opening like this and then preparing to go with the totem next. It could be okay. Like, even if it's a blind build in general against Demon Hunter, opening double Bestiary seems kind of fine. Because the Walker doesn't do that much, especially initially. I made sure he couldn't buy the Zeppelin to get away. He actually wants to kill this Blade. He dusted him, which unlike in Dota does not slow an invisible hero. But he did do Drunken Haze, bunch of slow poison. He did a lot of damage to him. Overall though, I think Fly is happy with that, because there was a lot of slowdown on creeping for the Night Elf player. Meanwhile, Shadow was creeping. Now Fly can choose Snakes level 2 for push, or Heal level 2 for skirmishing and sustaining through creeping. Snakes level 2 has usually a much bigger impact, because you can try to arrange heal solves to take care of the healing part out of combat. He's got double Sobi Mask on Shadow. Yeah, Heal Wave level 1. So now he's gonna get Heal Scroll. He sold Scroll of the Beast. May feel like a waste, but Dryad with Abolish are just gonna remove it anyway. Armor upgrade finish for Raiders. Even though a lot of damage from Night Elf is coming from Immolation and Fire Breath and Slow Poison, which is magic and bypasses armor, he still feels like there's enough physical attack damage from Demon Panda and Dryads to merit getting armor. And it's moments like these that I'm really envious of the Dota 2 analytics system. In those analytics, it actually shows how much damage came from magical physical. So you would be able to retroactively value how good it was to get armor upgrades, etc. See the damage mitigation. This is a pretty decent timing attack by Fly. He just got level 2 Snakes, so Dryads can be very vulnerable to that. It's also happening to before Panda is level 3, which would have vastly changed the outcome of this battle. Very nice Zeppelin micro by Moon, keeps a lot of Dryads alive. Now those Snakes are hard to fight into though. They have like 165 HP, so that's like 4 or 5 hits from a hero. Dryads can try to kill them as well, but if the Orc micros well, he will continually retarget Dryads with the Snakes and will then do a lot of damage on them, piercing to unarmored. Looks like Moon will go for a heal scroll on the Panda and will cycle around the top. This looks so good for Moon, to be honest. He's got higher hero level 1, bit lower level 2. He did lose a Moonwell, and he's losing a lot of Moonwell juice. He's barely using his Dryads in defense here, but look, if the Orc does well and immediately retargets the Dryad, they're taking loads of damage from the Snakes. Oh no, he missed the Fire Breath on the Blade. He didn't exactly know where the blade was. Angled just 10 degrees up, and he would have killed the blade with that fire breath right there. So I ask you guys, if you're trying to learn Orc, and you're looking here, how do you feel about that fight? Looking back at it, it does feel like a standard timing that you do need to do. It doesn't feel like a good fight looking back. You're spending loads of money healing up the units that got low. But like not attacking into Night Elf at all once you get your Shadow 3 feels like you're just letting them get away with too much creeping. And Panda and Demon get so scary together. He's just gonna attack again. And I think it makes sense. Raiders don't creep as well or as fast as Dryads do. So just gonna go straight up again. Does not have speed scroll or town portal. Just gonna go for the Moonwell. He sees the town portal. He's not leaving. He wants to fight here. Dude, that's crazy. I cannot. Fly is so aggressive. Much more aggressive than both Lin and me. His style has always been different. He's a warrior fighter. And his good micro makes some things that otherwise might not be good seem more viable. His units are not in the best position. Many of his units were attacking Demon Hunter. Would have been better if he had snared it and moved them a bit away from the Demon. But the Snake micro is good. He's taking down the Zeppelin. He damaged a lot of Dryads. I don't know, man. I don't feel like Fly can stay here. He's just gonna lose the blade now. This is crazy. This is super over. And yet, it isn't. How is it possible? Demon is 5. There are very few Dryads left. Dude, this is so unlike me. I don't know what else to say. This style that Fly is doing is so unlike me. I have never played like this. He's a very good player. I have never played like this. He just comes here and he just fights to the death. How does that make sense? He had no exit plan. It's kind of like, man, it's kind of like how I jumped into Warcraft 3 with no plan B in life. I did not become a part-time pro gamer. I did not study university on the side, like many of my German colleagues did do. It seems like a big reigning culture in Germany is, I feel like they show a very disciplined approach to life in a way. Very model citizen life, where many of the pro gamers in Germany, the streamers that I've met over the years in Dota and Warcraft 3, SC2, they're disciplined about their studies and about their preparation for the future. They can still be very successful and good pro gamers, but it seems like they never put all their eggs in one basket and just go for it and say, pro gaming, this thing has to work out, and I'm not preparing anything else. The exception actually, Hazelwops. Hazelwops gave his life to games same as me, but he's the exception among German players, I feel like. Fly, I think he gets the all eggs in one basket thing. He attacked twice, he just went all the way to the end, ran his blade through the meat grinder, put down 6 snakes and just attacked like mad. What that does achieve is it gave Moon less space to maneuver. Right? Moon does not have an expansion, didn't have time or money to start spreading his influence all over the map. It's very interesting. The Shadow Mana, oh no! Oh my god! Dude! What? He's got triple Sobi mask, Pendant of Energy, and double Mantle of Intelligence. Even to the point that he just was like, okay, Pendant of Energy, let's put it on Blade. Because actually, well, that's because he wants to maximize the mana pool for Shadow. He wants the clarity when he has a smaller max mana pool. That's crazy, dude. Oh my god. Did he just buy double Sappers? Was that Sappers? I don't know. Gonna use another clarity, give Pendant to Shadow, and then Shadow's gonna have like 500-600 mana pool. Oh my god, Moon was expanding on Fly's Expo and he blew it up with a Sapper. So that's a 2... What's that? 225/100 trade for something like 400/185. And you get 25 XP. Good trade for Fly. Another attack. Let's see. Fly has heal scroll info, but hasn't got TP or speed scroll. That's crazy. Moon saw him coming, so he did an early TP, so he's not going to be in a bad position. 1-1 Dryad upgrades, 1-1 Grunt and Raider upgrades. Moon is 50 pop, out of money. Demon has level 3 Immolation. You cannot stand against that Immolation. There's no way. You gotta ensnare him and stay out. There's no other way. What you want is to keep the Demon out of the fight. Attack Dryads with Raiders in pockets. You can't put them all on one. And then you want to keep putting down snakes. So far, Fly is getting some work done with the Raiders. It could be better. That's a nice position on the Demon. Oh my god. It's a lot of damage coming out from Moon. Fire Breath and Immolation. Raiders are dropping low, but Infinity, Pendant of Energy. Heal Waves. I am surprised, by the way. Level 3 snakes rather than level 3 heal wave. It's a choice. Both would be good. Snakes now are very hard to kill, a lot of HP, and they do insane damage on Dryads. But usually healing wave can feel nice, because, well, it keeps your Raiders and Blades alive. Oh no, I think his Shadow is dead. Oh man. Is he gonna mana pot heal wave? Nope. Oh, got left behind. That's why Juggernaut shouldn't leave Shadow Shaman behind. You gotta protect your supports, idiot Chorus. Just left him there. They sound the retreat, and it was not a controlled retreat. Instantly rebuy Shadow from the center. That's a Chad move. I would not have done that. There's no way. Because he doesn't even have that much mana. Why are you buying back? You're not undead. You don't have Obsidian statues. You're not Night Elf. You don't have Moonwell. But he does it. Does have triple Sobi Mask. So he's like, yeah, I'll be full mana soon. It's okay. Attacking again. That's wild. He knew Moonwells are still low. So he just has to kill the heroes one more time. Not 3 times. But there's a Demon with meta. Is he not gonna meta? Maybe Fly is doing this to force meta at home. Otherwise, meta is in your base as the orc, and then you're gonna, when you dodge fight, you're gonna lose your base. Now, if meta gets turned on, and you dodge fight, well, he has to run all the way across the map, doesn't he? Dude, that's crazy how he's using his blade. He's just thinking on a different level in Warcraft 3. The way that Fly sees the game, it's a boxing ring, you know? He wants to kill. Yeah, he killed Panda. It's a decent trade. Blade level 4 for Panda level 5. So Moon has an expansion now. And he's making another expansion. Fly also has an expansion. This one isn't mining yet. This one is. So at the moment, Fly is getting more money. He's also got 2 more population. So there's this tiny window where perhaps Fly can try to attack again. But I said it in the Razor Moon game, and I'll say it here. The value of Immolation is so much smaller now than Mana Burn. If you just were to reskill to Mana Burn, it will be so much better. Of course, Raiders can try to ensnare the Demon away from trying to reach Shadow. But Mana Burns are worth so much more now than Immolation, in my opinion. Like negative 150. Why did he use meta? He was not strong enough to defend there. What would happen is that Fly would do permanent ensnare lock on Demon while putting up snakes. He has like 4 or 5 Raiders, right? So he can ensnare. Nothing will be able to stop the 6 Serpent Snake Pit. So what Moon is trying to prevent is that 6 snakes come up with Fly just locking out his Demon. And so with meta, he gets a ranged attack so he can kill snakes from afar before it gets out of hand. So I get why he meta'd. Yo, what's up, Cake? Yeah, he denied the panda respawn. And Moon doesn't have enough wood right now to make his panda, but he could cancel the 2 Dryads that are in production to remake panda from the center. Though I think the Wisp was found by Fly, so he may not get his panda back. At this point, Moon has so much gold from his 3 bases that what he really needs is some lumber. Never got a shredder yet, but hopefully he's making wisps from every tree of life he has. AP, throwing some rocks. I don't feel like AP is the right choice there. I think Ancient of War would do more. It's a lot of snakes. I think there's not another heal wave. Oh, there it is. There is. He must have had mana pot. Is that critical level 3? Windwalk level 3. I think he's gonna get the demon. Oh no, he TP'd away, so he's gonna lose his whole base. Oh man. And Fly has pillage. He's gonna get loads of money. Who needs expansions when your enemy base becomes an expansion? Oh, I think Fly won this. There's no way back now for Moon. There's no way. There's no way, right? Nah. I feel like looking at the replay timer. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. 60 pop versus 35. Yeah, I think Sobimas helped win the game a lot. I think it would have been nice for Moon to reskill to mana burn. I'll keep saying that. Immolation is good. He might be playing with mindset A here instead of mindset B. This might be like a ladder game. And he was like, I just want to stay with Immolation the whole game. It's not a tournament, right? So you don't have to play your best. You're trying out things. You're playing your best, but you play within the purview of a certain theory, of a certain hypothesis. You're trying to see how good is Immolation, right? How good is maxing Immolation and evasion? And now we know. Crazy play by Fly. Never even dealt with the expos directly. Extremely aggressive. I think there's something to be learned from it. I don't like everything that I saw, and it also doesn't super fit my personality, my style. But I love watching different styles play within the same race, the same faction, because it shows that WC3 can be enjoyed in different ways. He's always been aggressive like this. You know, when I played against Fly in Orc Mirror, I never had to figure out how to attack him and kill him in his base. He would always come to me. So all I had to do was to make sure that when he attacks me, I'm ready, which is an interesting way to see the game. If you had 2 naturally very aggressive players, they'd meet somewhere in the middle, or if one doesn't attack the other will attack the one. But I was more defensive. Usually Fly and Lin would attack me first. And if it was good, they win. And if my defense was good, I win. So really fun to see his style and his aggressive brand of WC3. GG.